Alrighty, good morning everyone. Hopefully I can finally get the audio kind of nailed down. It was a little bit loud in the previous stream, but also I want to be able to actually have you guys hear the music. So I'm trying to get a nice balance here. I'm going to try around there. It looks pretty good. It's down in the green. Also, I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good whatever you guys are watching this. Obviously I'm uploading these after I go live. So if you're watching this after the fact, hello, how's it going? I also want to shout out everyone who's dropped a like and also dropped a tip. That means so much to me that you guys are being so generous and leaving tips and whatnot. I super appreciate it. It's going to help out a lot if we hit my goal. Again, no pressure or anything, but I do want to shout out anyone who has done that. The last couple of times I've accidentally had my alerts hidden. So hopefully this time around I can actually like see my goal or see my alert. Not really centered, but yeah, hopefully this time around I can actually see my goal, or not my goal, see my alerts. Last time I couldn't see it because I had it turned off. But anyway, today what the goal is to work on the back end to get some API routes going and hopefully get posts up. And if we can get posts up, then we can start making posts and stuff like that. And there's going to be some other things that we need to kind of work around. Let's go ahead and start up the application. I'm going to also grab Postman really quick off to the side. And I'm going to hide some stuff because I'm working on some things behind the scenes I don't want to leak out right now. Okay, cool. It started up, no problem. Okay, I have it hidden anyway. All right, so here's Postman. We'll have to start making some /post stuff. So we'll deal with that. Cool. All right, so last episode we set up. Let's get rid of a couple things. Our mail service is probably not out of date, but probably needs to be the credentials reset. So source main models, we made this not, oh, I'm in the wrong repo. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm in the wrong repo. Let me grab the right repo. That was like the quote unquote official one. Or I shouldn't say official one, but that's not the one that we work on. So give me 1 moment. I was gonna say, where the heck is my post? But it's because, here we go. This is the one that we worked on. So that other one was the one that I actually work on whenever I record the videos. So we created this post object, and I don't know if it's gonna work out or what we're gonna do with this thing. But we got our post ID, we have the content, we have the date it was posted, we have our author, and a bunch of other stuff, likes, images. I don't know how we're gonna do the videos. We'll have to figure that out. We have our replies, which are just another set of basically tweets on top of them. We have the repost, the bookmarks, and then there's also likes, I think, somewhere. Or did I completely leave out likes? Repost, bookmarks. So we're going to be working on the back end today. And it looks like I completely forgot to add likes in this. So I am going to go ahead and add likes maybe above here. So I'm just going to literally copy and paste this. And instead of saying replies, I'm going to say likes. And this will be post. Oh wait, I do have likes. Why is it up here? I don't know. I don't know why I put it up there. Okay, so there is likes. Cool. So now the plan is to kind of get a DAO set up. So that's pretty simple. Also, I don't want to leak this. So let me pull up. Nothing bad. I'm working on a project that I'm going to be recording for YouTube, so I'm trying to not leak the project that I'm working on. All right, cool. So we need to set up the DAO basically. So I don't know exactly what this is going to need, so I'm going to start with just basic CRUD. So I'm going to go ahead and set up the repository for the posts. I don't know how long this Java part's going to take, so we might be back on making some posts up. I want to make sure and test to make sure everything is actually posting properly. So let's see. We'll go into our repositories. So we'll make a new interface, and this will be the post repository. And we'll just throw @repository on here. Maybe. Oh no, my Eclipse is gonna crash. @repository. Alright. And we just basically need CRUD. I am gonna do a optional set of post, and I actually need to say, well, I'll finish this off first. And this is, I can always forget if it's find by or get by. I think it's find by. Let me look. Yeah, find by. So I'm gonna say find by, and I think it's author. Let me look at the post again, because I think I called it author. Yeah, find by author. So find by author, and then we'll pass in an application user author. So this is going to find post by that author, and that's one I think we'll probably need more or less right off the bat. I don't know what other features we're going to need right now, so we'll have to kind of figure out as we go and just kind of add as we go. So this needs to extend JPA repository, and we're also going to need like a page, some thing of pages basically. This is going to be, and I forget which way this goes. Is it post and then integer? I just set up one of these and I always forget how to do it or which order it goes. Eventually we'll need to like do a get all like followers posts or something, and then like have a page. But I'm not sure how we're gonna do that. We're gonna have to do like a special, probably custom query where you pass in the user, and then get all post. It's gonna have to be like some query where we pass in a set of users, and I guess get the pages of them or something. So I'll figure out that and work on that and figure out how we're gonna do that. For now, let's just go ahead and make it so we can get the users posts as well as and make a post and all that stuff. So this is good for the time being. We'll probably add to this. So there's that. Now let's go ahead and set up the basic CRUD 5, set up the basic CRUD for the posts. So let's make sure we can actually create posts. And I'll say in the post service. All right, so let's go ahead and do the post service real quick, and then we can kind of keep moving on from there, and then go into the controller and figure out what else we need from there. So we need to go ahead and make the post service, the new class post service, and we'll go ahead and say add to service above this, and we'll also throw @transactional. I don't know why service was being so weird. Grab transactional from Spring. All right, and we'll need our so private post repository. We'll call it post repository. I might have been calling these repos. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and call it repo to kind of shorten it a little bit. We might need some other stuff, like to be able to find a user and stuff like that. So we'll see. Although the user is probably going to be passed along, because we should have the entire user object more or less. So we'll see how things go. At the very least, we could have like a find user DTO. I guess it's find username DTO. So yeah, we'll have to kind of figure out more or less what we're gonna do on the fly. But then we'll have our public post service, and this will take in a post repository, post repo, and this will just go ahead and say this dot post repo is equal to post repo. We'll auto wire this. So my first goal is to just kind of get some basic CRUD going. So we'll go ahead and say public, no problem, public post create post, and then this will take in I think we'll probably make like a special object for this, because we don't need all the stuff from this. So whenever we look at a post, we're going to need not an ID, we'll need the content. So let's just kind of take a note of everything that we'll actually need for this. That's not what I wanted. I wanted the post. There we go. So to make a post, we're going to need the content from the user. We're obviously going to need the author. We're going to need the, let's see, likes will be empty. So we'll just set that up ourselves. We'll need any images that come along. That could be an empty array, it might not be. We'll need any videos, which we'll do later. But we still need a slot for videos eventually. Replies will be empty. Well, technically, replies might have something on them, because you can make threads immediately. So I'm gonna go ahead and set that up for now, just in case. And let's see, replies, it's not gonna have any reposts to start. It's not gonna be bookmarks. The views will be set to 0, so I'm not gonna worry about that. Scheduled, we'll need that, so we'll need a scheduled. We'll need the scheduled date. So when does it actually need to go up? We'll need that. We'll definitely need the audience. We'll need, and also the reply restrictions. All right, so this is all we're gonna need. So what we're gonna go and do, I guess, is let's make a new DTO, and we'll say new class, and we're gonna say create post DTO. And how I've been making these, okay, just a straight up model. Okay, so get rid of this. So in our post create post DTO, we need a private string content. We need a private, oops, and I guess this doesn't necessarily have to be private, but application user author, and a private, do I just call this image? Let me look on my models again, see what I have in here. Yeah, private, and I guess this would be a list of images. I don't know if I have it set up as a list or not. I might. I'll have to double check. Grab that, and then we can grab image. And grab application user, and our post. Let's take a look at our actual post again. Probably shouldn't have closed out of it. And image. So, oh, actually I wanted post. So I think it's just a list of images. Yeah, it's just a list. Cool. I mean, we could have converted it. If I put a set, this probably would have been fine. We need images. We'll need videos eventually. Do videos. We don't know how to do that yet. Private set of post replies. This one might or might not be empty. So go ahead and grab our set and our post. Then we need our scheduled, so private boolean scheduled. We need our audience, or I guess private date scheduled date. And honestly, we probably could just pass the user ID or something and then search for the user. And that's the thing that I was not sure what we wanted to do, because with the post service, we could definitely just grab in the user repo and search for a user by like their username or something, because in our, or we can even pull in the user service, because in the user service, we should have a, yeah, we have a get by username. So we could either do that, or I don't know if we have one get by ID. I don't know why we wouldn't. The verify username, get by use email or phone. So it doesn't actually look like we have a get by ID, but we could easily make a get by ID. Because the repo should just have that, and we can bring in the repo in here, or the not repo, the service. You can do it either way. You could put services inside services, or I could just grab the user repo, I guess, and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. So we'll see what it's like to have to pass the entire user, because I forget what the user actually looks like whenever we make a post. So maybe that's something we'll do before we actually do this. But anyway, so we'll have our scheduled date. We'll have our audience, so private. I don't know if I just called this audience or what I called this. Yeah, I just called this audience. Audience. And I didn't save too many strokes here, or too many different things, but still a little bit better than the other one. And then reply. Whenever I can cut down on the amount of fields that I have to pass in to a request, I'm going to try to. So that's why I did it like this. And then this is just going to have an all args basically. So I'm going to, I guess we can do a no args and all args. It doesn't really matter that much. But we'll go ahead and generate constructors. We'll do a no arg. Just a basic bean basically, but it's not being stored. And we'll do a simple all args, so source, constructors, and then we'll do our getters and setters, source, getters, and setters. And the difference between like a DTO and a model in our case is that the models are going to be stored on the database. They're more entity objects, and then these that aren't being stored on the database, they're going to they're transferring data from our API to our database or to wherever. So that's why they're data transfer objects versus our entities. So there's our post DTO. So I'm actually going to go ahead and say set up a post DTO class to pass information from the controller to the service. And this might change, so we'll see after a little bit of experimentation here. Copy this guy and let's put it into here. And now number 6, now we can go ahead and set up the post service. That's just going to make our life a little bit easier. So if we go back into here now, what we can do is we can say, okay, we're going to get past a post or I guess it's called a create post DTO p DTO. All right, and now what we can go ahead and do is say post p is equal to a new post, and now we get to do the fun part of passing in all of the different things. So I'm just going to pass in 0, and we probably should have made a custom constructor to actually deal with not, you know, putting a 0 in there, but it is what it is. So what else do we need for post? I'm just going to copy this and do this, and we can start putting stuff in there. All right, so we need our ID, so 0. Then we get our content, so p DTO.get content. We need the posted date, so this is going to be a new date, and that should just be, we might be able to say .now, but new date should basically give us the date right now. And let's check. Allocates the date object and initializes it so it represents the time which is it was allocated and measured in the nearest millisecond. I think that should just make a new date, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll see what happens, what it looks like. Now this will be our PDTO dot, and this will be get author, and then our likes will be a new set of likes. So new set, I guess we can say hash set. So this is going to be empty, so we didn't actually pass anything to that. And we can go ahead and import hash set. Next is list of images. So this is going to be pdto.get images. Our replies will be pdto.get replies. Our application repost will be a new hash set, because that one should be empty. Our bookmarks will also be a new hash set because this one will be empty. And then our views will start out at 0. I don't know how this is going to work. We might start actually storing a list of users that have viewed it. So each time that, well, maybe we can figure out each time basically a new IP gets added or something, it makes a request. That can kind of get spammy, but we can figure that out. PDTO, this will be .get scheduled. I guess they called it is scheduled, and then we'll say next one is PDTO, and this will be .get scheduled date if there is one. This one will be PDTO .get audience, and then finally we have PDTO.get reply restrictions. PDTO.get reply restrictions, and that will successfully create a user. So now all we got to do is return this. So then we can say something like return post repo dot save, and this should just return the entity or not null. Do we want to throw this in a try catch? How, I haven't seen the backend for a while, so how have we been doing this? Find by user, update user, register user. Yeah, we just say try catch. Okay. So we'll throw this into a try catch, and we'll catch whatever exception. So now we'll go ahead and say try, and we'll say posted is equal to post repo, and then we'll say dot save. We'll pass in post. Oh, we called it P. Pass in that post, and if this works, we'll return posted. and then we'll catch an exception E. And here, what we could do is we could like throw a new exception basically. So let's just say e.print stack trace for now, and then we can go back and actually go about storing this. So we'll go ahead and just say to do create a custom exception. So we'll do that a little bit later. And this is still going to complain. So I guess, oh, it's because it's not actually throwing an exception. We'd have to return null. Do I want to make this return an optional then? What did I do for these issues? Did I just say throws an exception and then pass it on? How did I deal with stuff like this? So update user, just throw an email already taken exception. And is this must just be a runtime exception. Let's look at our exceptions. Am I just using runtime exceptions here? Yes. Okay, so what we'll do is for now we'll just return null if that happens. And then what we'll do is we'll throw a custom exception instead. So there's our create post, public. There's not really going to be an update post because Twitter doesn't let you update post. You can delete posts, and obviously we can get all posts. Let's do a public list of posts, and we'll say get all posts. All right, and this will just not return anything, and this will literally just return our post repo dot find all. That one's no big deal. Then we'll have a public list of posts. We'll say get all posts by author, and we'll say author, or I guess it'll be application user. And this one I'm curious to see if it's going to work the way we want it to. And here what we'll do is say, because if we say because I think it's an optional, and it was like, it might have actually been a set of posts. Yeah, it was. Okay, that doesn't matter. We can change this to set. That you can generate CRUD operations for the repository, but you're gonna have to write the service method yourself. So if you want to skip over the service and write the controllers, you can kind of skip this step. But I'm not sure of any CLI tools that generates it for you. I'm sure there's maybe something out there, but at the same time, you might not know exactly what you want. So, we're gonna say optional set of posts, and this is going to say user's post is equal to post repo dot find by author. All right, and basically what we'll do, grab optional, and we'll say dot or else, and then this will just be a new set of post, I guess. And I guess that's not how we use or else. Let's see. Wrap the nullable object. Optional. Wrap with optional. Does this not return optional? Cannot convert set. Oh, it's because, okay. So now we'll say dot get, and then we'll say dot or else. Well, we should be able to say dot or else. So I don't want to throw for this. And I don't think we can do this. or else, or maybe I'm just stupid. Hash set with nothing in it. Okay. So we're gonna get that. I'm not gonna worry about this one throwing an exception. I'm just gonna return the user post. This one, I'm not sure if it's gonna even work. So that'll be interesting, but this will just get all of the users' posts. And we might make some nasty operation where we pass in a list of users to one of these services and just call all of these. But I think we could probably make a pagination thing with Spring Security, with Spring Data JPA and see what happens. So that's get all post, and then we could probably be able to delete a post. So public, and this one, I'm not sure how we're gonna handle this one. Because obviously only the user who is currently calling it should be able to delete it. So we're probably gonna have to do some like CSI not CSI, but we're gonna have to probably look at the JP or JWT to make sure that it's actually the correct user trying to delete it and not just some random. But this is just a service method, so it is what it is. This will just be a public void delete post, and we'll just pass in the post that we want to delete, post P. And what we'll do here is we'll just say, how do we want to do this? I guess we'll just say post repo dot delete, and I guess we could just pass in the entire post. Does not like that though. Well, it's because I scuffed. We can just pass in the entire entity. I'm not sure how well that's gonna work. We'll have to see, but that should be the post service. So let's go ahead and copy this and put it into here. Again, we might have to make a couple changes here and there, a couple tweaks, but it is what it is. TS and paste that. All right, now we need to set up the post controller. Set up the post controller, and then we're gonna have to not TS. I've been writing some TypeScript. We're gonna have to set up a bunch of stuff inside of the configuration, which isn't gonna be very fun because I think I want to be able to allow people to view a post. So also maybe we should have a view post by ID. So maybe I'm gonna say public list, not list, public post get post by ID, and then we'll say integer ID, because on Twitter you are allowed to kind of look at some posts. Return, and we'll say post repo dot get by ID, and we'll pass in the ID, although I'm pretty sure especially use find by ID. Find by ID, an optional, and we'll say dot or else we'll throw, except we don't have an exception for this, so we'll just get this for now, I suppose, and then we'll want to say to do set up a custom exception if this post doesn't exist. So we'll do that a little bit later as well. We have a couple custom exceptions that we want to set up, but I want to get like the basic CRUD going first. 8. So now, oh, and I put that in the wrong spot. Whoops. We want to put this in like here. Put it like here, I guess. It doesn't matter where it goes. Cool. Okay, now we can set up the post controller. Let's go ahead and do that. So new class post controller, and we'll say at rest controller on the top of this, and we'll say slash post, I suppose. All right, and then we'll say at, well, first we'll say a private, and this will be our post service. And how I've been naming these? Let's see. Let's look at our other controller. Do I just say, okay, calling it post service? Cool, cool. All right, so there is service. We might need the image service for this as well, now that I think about it, because if we want to store the image, because we have the image controller that uploads, let's see, that downloads the image, and user controller, let's see, upload profile picture, all it does is username token, and it calls the user service, and then the user service probably calls, let's see, let's go back to the user controller. What was that? That was update profile picture, and it called set profile or banner picture. So where is our set profile or banner picture at? Yeah, it calls the image service, so we're probably gonna have to go through in our post service. And let's see, whenever we create the post, we're gonna have to go through and save each photo to the database or to the whatever. I don't know if these are stored in the database, but we're going to store each photo to the correct place, basically. I don't remember if I'm storing these inside of our database or if these are just being put into a file somewhere. It's been a while since I've messed with this, so I can look around the database and take a peek at some point just to see, because it's been a little bit since I've messed with the back end of this application. Alright, but anyway, I just want to get the basic stuff going. So our post service will have a public post service, post controller, and then this will have the post service. We also might need the JWT service or the auth service, whatever one it is. Where's our services? Or our token service, because I think token service can get a username from a token to make sure that we actually have the correct stuff in there. So we'll see. That's something that we'll need to look at, so we can actually be able to delete basically be able to delete a post without making sure that the users who they say they are equal the post service, because we don't want some person that's not the right person deleting the post, basically. At AutoWired, kind of all over the place this morning, I'm sorry. So there's that, and that's why I don't record my videos like this. This is why I plan my videos out before I record them, otherwise it'll be a mess like this. Alright, so now what we're looking at is we need we don't need our post repo. So the first thing that we should do is probably be able to, let's just do get all posts. How's it go, Nicholas? So we'll go ahead and say at get, and this will just be, well, we don't want to say mapping, and this will just be the slash, and this will be a public. I think I set this as a list, or did I set this as a set? This one's just a list because it's all, so public list post read, and I'll say get all posts, and this will be very basic. So I'm going to set up a couple of read and write here really quick, set up the configuration, and kind of go from there. So this one is pretty simple. This one just goes ahead and returns post service dot get all posts, nothing crazy, at post mapping the slash, and this one will be public. I think I just return a post. This will be create post. This is going to have an at request body of a post. I guess it's actually called create post. Whoops. Create post DTO. All right, do this, and then as long as this user post DTO, as long as the users obviously has a JSON web token or JWT, they're going to be allowed to do this. So this one also should be pretty simple. So this one is just going to return post service dot create post and pass that. So that one also is dead simple, but I don't know if it's actually going to be that dead simple. So that's why I want to get this set up so we can test it. So, whoops. Let me go ahead, and that was around 6:43. Let me note that down real quick because I need to remove that. I always forget. 6:43. And how long is this? I don't know how long that was. About 40-ish minutes. Alright, cool. So now I'm going to open up dbeaver. I'm really bad about not showing stuff I'm not supposed to. But let's get dbeaver going. Although this one's not dbeaver, is it? I'm stupid. This one's just going to be... this one's going to be the H2 console. So give me a moment. Let's go ahead and run this. I could close out of all this. Let's run our boot app. Hopefully it starts up. I forget this one's H2 console. Hopefully everything's still fine. Okay. And let me open up a new incognito. Oh yeah, we also need to localhost :8000/H2. Although we have to say like do we have to say like footer /h2 console? Yeah, okay. And I don't remember if I set up a username and password on this. So let me see what I got set up. SA and password. Cool. Just like default stuff here. Alright, so we got our post, we got post images. So we are storing images. They're empty right now because we reset the database each time. But I think that the quote unquote real application has images. Alright, so now what was I gonna do? Oh yeah. So we're gonna need to change the config. So let's see, Spring security configuration. Although this should be fine because as long as we're logged in, we should be able to do whatever we want. So let's go ahead and just make, and I probably should have made folders on this, but oh well. So basically if we add a request to just /post/ this shouldn't work because it doesn't, it's not, we're not logged in basically. Local http / localhost 8000. We'll say /post/. This should get like a 401 basically. 404. Why do we get? Is it because? Oh no! Did our H2 console break everything? Do we have to put footer on this again? Oh man. Alright, well, we're going to have to change a couple things for testing purposes because of the H2 console. So maybe I should have tried to connect the H2 console or H2 database to dbeaver. It'd be a little bit easier. But as you see, we get a 401 because we're not logged in. So what we need to do is we need to go ahead and log in, and it should just be unknown coder 1234. And again, we're going to add footer here, and this is going to be a little bit annoying to deal with, but hopefully this logs us in. We got our token. So now we can go ahead and copy the token, and I'm pretty sure all we gotta do is copy this guy, and now we can go back into post. We need to go into our headers. We need a bearer token, and I forget how we did this. Let me take a look at, like, I'm sure user PFP has it. Header, it's just authorization. Okay. We'll add our authorization. And this is just going to say bearer, and paste that. Let me double check. That's what it says. Authorization, bearer. Cool. So now, fingers crossed, it should just return an empty array. Why do we still get 401 unauthorized? Oh, that makes sense. Cool. No adapter for handler, post controller. Dispatch servlet needs an adapter. Fun. So, let's see here. Where did this actually come from? Bearer token. Let's see if we can figure out. Is this a problem with host controller? No adapter for handler. Host controller. And then it doesn't actually say. So something about here. We did a get all posts. Do we need to, let's see, user service? We shouldn't need to pass anything in there. Verify email. We just have mail service and password encoder. I don't think we need the password encoder though, because I don't think we're using it. I mean, maybe we need the password encoder, so let's try to grab the password encoder, I guess, and see if that helps. Let's add. I don't think we need the password encoder, but maybe we do. So go ahead and say this dot password encoder is equal to password. We shouldn't need that, but you never know. So now I'm guessing our JWT is probably reset. So if I try this again, I'm probably gonna get unauthorized. Still get a 500. So I'm curious if something is broken inside of. I don't know if something's broken inside the configuration, because I didn't really touch the configuration other than adding the H2 database. And the login and stuff was working. But I don't think it has to do with the JWT, because whenever we log in, this is fine. And let's see if we try to, let's try auth find and see if that breaks. So let's say auth find. And, although, do we want that or? Because this doesn't have a header on it. I want something that has a header. Update phone, do you take a header? This one does not take authorization. Probably should. Email code, I don't want to do that. Update password. Do you take a header? This one probably should have. But none of auth takes a header, I guess, right? User PFP. We don't have any files. The authorization is already set up, so we can paste in that. Let's see if this one works. Oh, I need to say /Twitter. And I wonder if did setting up the H2 console break something. Yeah, current request is multi-part request. Oh, it's not a multi-part request. Strange. Because this was also working just fine. So I don't know if adding H2 is scuffing something or what's going on with this. But this was definitely working. We have our token. Now we're getting a different error. Current request is not multi-part. I'm going to try to unattach the image, I guess, and reattach it. Although this is probably going to pop up stuff I don't want to show. It's not too bad. I unattached and reattached the image. Unable to save the supplied photo. Interesting. I'm not sure why. This is a different exception now. I'm not sure what's going on. Image service.java, just unable to save photo. Got an IO exception. I wonder if I don't want to switch workspaces, but I wonder if there's not a folder that's supposed to be created, or is it supposed to be this image? This is here. So I'm guessing it saves it to IMG. Let's see, upload image. Got a multi-part file, string prefix. It doesn't say where we're saving it to. Prefix, extension. Oh, you know what? This isn't in, this is a different directory now. So let's change this to properties, and we'll copy this. I forgot we changed. This isn't Twitter backend anymore. This is Twitter clone footer backend. I forgot that we changed the URL or the folder. Now let's log in again. All of this to try to figure out if there's something actually wrong with the post controller, or paste that in there. Okay, that worked, and that took in the token. So something with posts, no adapter for handler. So I don't think. Let's try this real quick. We'll say bearer token, and we'll paste in the bearer token, and let's see if that changes anything. No. Okay, so let's figure out what's going on with this. No adapter for handler. I'm not sure why it's freaking out on me, because the user one just worked just fine. Spring Boots for one service. Why are you trying to return a Boolean? It does not need to be. Did I not put @rest controller above this? Am I going crazy? @rest controller. That should be fine. Should just return a post, a list of posts. Why is it saying there's no handler for this? And it's got to be this one. Gotta be get all post. We're getting to it, like we're supposed to be able to. Let's look at the service, I guess. Post service. Get all posts is literally just post repo.findAll. It just returns all the entities. There's nothing crazy about this. Auto-wired the post repo, so that should be fine. We have our @service and @transactional, so that should also be fine. And let's see. I don't think we marked @repository, but that shouldn't matter because technically, it's an interface. We did mark it, so it's not that. Okay, so why are we getting this exception? Anything else more useful? This is exactly what we're doing. Oh, it's because I'm stupid and we need @request mapping. Let's do this. @request. I've been out of the game for too long. Oh, I'd fail my own quality control right now. Alright, request mapping and @rest controller. I forget to Java sometimes, I guess. So let's go ahead and log in. Get our new token. If we weren't resetting the server over and over again, we wouldn't have to do this. Alright, now do we get an empty list of posts? There we go. Alright, as long as you're logged in, you get an empty list of posts. It doesn't throw any exceptions if I can just do my job properly. Alright, so now our create post is the one that I'm a little bit concerned about. And we might need to do some modifications. But what we're going to do is I'm going to go into the login, and I think I'm just going to grab the user ID and maybe the email or something, but I might be able to just literally grab the user ID from user and it might work the way that I want it to. We'll see. So we're going to go and make a new a new request to /post/. This will be a post request. At least I think that's all I called it because it's a REST API. Cool. So / and then what we'll go ahead and do is I need to look at our DTO to see exactly what that takes in. So create post DTO, kind of a mess, but copy that, and we'll see if we can get this to work. So we'll say http:/post. This is a post request. Our authorization will still need a bearer token, which I'm guessing is holding it. So we'll see what happens. And this will be raw JSON. I don't know what we're going to do about the images because we're going to need form data for the images. So I don't know what we're going to do about that. We might just send this all as form data. I don't know how we're going to send an array of photos. Interesting. This might have to be we might have to like create the post and then send like however many requests to update the post or something. Because of the way that uploading images works. We might have to split this into separate things. But the thing is, since they already upload the image on the front end, it'll still show up on the front end for the time being. And then it should be fine, I think. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So that means that I'm gonna change this post ETO and get rid of images for the time being in videos, and we're gonna have to make some changes on this, but it's fine. We'll have to go back through and track all these changes. New, let's see, source, and generate a toString. All right, so what we'll do is we'll change this, copy this guy, and we'll go into our walkthrough, find our DTO. Is this one, I think. I don't know if I went too far or not. I'm guessing I did. Yes, I did. Way too far. DTO. We'll do this. We need to update our service class. So save that, go back into our service. So post service now, we'll just say instead of PTO, this will be a new, I don't know if this is a list. I think it's a list of image. I guess we can just say array list, I believe. That's simple enough. Copy this, put it into here. Cool. All right, so that's not too bad. Again, we're still just testing out the controller right now. So, all right, so what we're gonna need inside the controller, I need to look into that, Johnny. I'm not that great with sending requests, but basically that's how I'm getting that's how I'm getting my images anyway inside the image service. They get passed as a multi-part file with some prefix. So I might need to figure out exactly what you said and pass it in. For the time being, I'm going to do it the easy way, and then I'll do some research and try to figure some stuff out. But either way, I'm just gonna try to get to work for the time being, and then we'll figure out how to do some other stuff later. But that's also a good point. So let's see. I need this. So for the time being, we're not gonna have images. We'll add images a little bit later because I have no clue, and I need to do some research. And of course, I copied nothing. All right, so we need content. So content, exactly. So content will be testing our posts. So author, I should be able to get away with just passing in the username. So I should be able to do something like, or not the username, the user ID. The way that this works, I should be able to just say user ID :2 on this, and it should recognize the user ID and figure out what we want to do with that. If it doesn't work, I'm going to change it so that we can only pass the user ID, so it's a little bit easier. So I'm going to say our replies are an empty list because I'm not going to do any thread for this one. Just want to see if I can get a post onto the database. So empty there. So scheduled, in my comma, scheduled will be false. And so scheduled date will just be basically nothing. I'm not sure how this one's gonna work. I'd like to put null here. I don't know if that's gonna fly with Java, so we'll see what happens. So audience is an enum. So I need to go back and look at what this enum options are. So we'll go to audience. The options are everyone or circle. So we're just gonna put everyone. And then finally, reply restriction. This one, I'll just put everyone. I'm assuming everyone is an option on this one as well. Forget, I haven't used this one all that much, so we'll see. Reply restriction. Oh, that's not what I want. Yep, everyone. Cool. Just wanted to make sure everyone was an option. We don't need this anymore. Don't need the image service. Paste that. So this is either gonna blow up horribly or it might work. I don't know if our server got reset. It might have, so we might need to log in again just to be safe. We'll log the user in, grab our token, and we'll go ahead and go into our authorization. Paste in our new bearer token. Oops. Please. There we go. All right, so let's see what happens. So we did get, so it did find the author, unknown coder. So that's a good sign. Testing our post, we have a post to date, so that's also a good sign. So it looks like it did in fact post it. We can test that by going into here and refresh, put in our password. And if we go into post, there we go. We got a 3. I guess that's just the ID. We have an audience, which I guess that's just how it worked. So I'm guessing 0 is everyone, 1's going to be circle, 2 will be whatever. Have our content, our posted date. Again, we didn't schedule anything, so I'm not worried about it. And then our author ID is 2. And if we go into users, that's going to be me. We don't have a bio or date of birth. This is all stuff you set up later on, that you set up later on. Password, phone, verification, yada, yada, yada. We haven't posted anything on that. So that is why that's not there. All right, cool. So we can create a post. So now let's kind of set up the rest of these. Our post controller. So we can get all posts. We can create a post. So I guess let's go ahead and say at get mapping. And this is going to go to, what do we want to do here? So what do we have left in post service that we kind of want to do? We can get post by ID, I suppose. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll say slash, how do I want to do this? I guess I'll do ID /: ID because Java and Spring Boot gets confused, and yeah, it's not cool. I wish we could make it more restful, but it is what it is. I can't do anything about it. But public, this will just be a post, and this will be get post by ID, and then this will have an at path variable. Is that how we do it? I forget how we do this. I think it's path variable ID int ID, and let me double check that this is the correct one. Cool. So then we'll go ahead and return our post service dot find get post by ID, pass in our post. And this one should be fairly simple. So if we go into our postman, and I'm gonna make a new request to /post/ID. And now we can say get HTTP post post/id/2. We also need, so this one is one that I want to set up to be not authorized. I want anyone to be able to kind of view a post. But for the time being, I'll grab the bear token and we'll need to log in again because I think I saved and reset the server. So let's go ahead and log the person in. Kind of annoying. Eventually we'll make it, we won't have to reset all the time, but it is what it is. Throw our auth token in there. Who knows, maybe the server's smart enough. 404, I forgot the footer part. It's gonna be really annoying to delete all of these later. Let's see, not found, post ID 2. Interesting. Twitter posts/ID/ID. Let's double check this. Get mapping /ID post/ID:ID path variable ID post/ID. I think it's /3. Oh wait, the post probably got deleted, huh? Let's make a post. Post ID 3. ID 3. Still not found. Interesting. Let's try to grab our post. Oops. Does our post exist? Our post does exist. 404 not found. /Twitter /posts. We definitely have a post now. /ID/3. It acts like the route doesn't exist. Or let's see here. We have our get mapping and /post. /ID : is it this? Am I stupid? Have I been doing too much JavaScript? Probably. Let's try this. Log in. Probably some scripts to grab this for us, but we will create a post. There we go. You gotta actually write it properly. Alright, so now we can get the post, has all the info. I'm kind of concerned about the likes and the replies. Although right now I'm ignoring the replies. We'll probably need the replies. I'm not sure what we're going to do about the replies because we're going to obviously want to display if it's a thread or whatever. So that's going to be a bridge that we have to cross whenever we get there. But we can get that. We want to be able to get it by an author. So at get mapping / I mean, this could be a post mapping. We could do it to /username, but then we'd still need to get. How do we want to do this? I like sending data through post requests, but I don't know if we need the whole user. Let's try something incredibly jank first and then see what happens. So let's say /author/ID. We're gonna try something jank first. Public, and this will be a, I think I have this as a set of post. Get post by author. And then this is going to take an @path variable. Like I said, this is going to be a little bit jank of ID, int ID, and this should probably be called user ID, honestly. Call it user ID. Just to be more clear, that's coming from the user, not from whatever. So we're gonna say this. Now the issue that I can see here is that if this isn't a persisted user, it might not work, but we're gonna say application user u is equal to a new application user. Like I said, this is gonna be kind of jank here, but we'll see if it works. We're gonna say u.set ID. We're gonna set it to the user ID that got passed as a path variable, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna say return post service dot get all posts by author, and we're going to pass in that user. And this is either not going to work whatsoever, and I expected it, and that's fine. We'll just grab the user service, or it might work and we might get lucky. So what we'll do is make another one, make a new request. This is a get request to slash post slash author slash author colon user ID, and HTTP will say post slash author slash, and then I think we're like we're 1 or 2. I don't remember. We'll have to look at the whatever we get whenever we log in. So we'll log in for 2. We need to put 2 here. So we're logged in currently, and what we'll do is grab our token and copy this, and we'll go ahead and create a post. Okay, we created a post. We can get the post by the ID. Now let's see if we can get the post by the author. 401 unauthorized. Oh, I need the, of course, I need the token. So let's go ahead. Authorization. That's good. Okay, we get a list of posts. Now if we do like an author that doesn't exist, it should just be an empty. Yep. Cool. So that works as expected. So we can get mine. We can get some other persons. Looks good. All right. So now what we got left? So we can get all posts, get post by ID, get post by author, create post. And we just need to be able to delete the post. So again, we could probably pass, we probably don't have to pass everything, but keep in mind we'd have everything on the post object from the front end anyway, so it wouldn't really matter all that much. So the post control would be pretty simple. At delete mapping slash, and we'll just pass in the entire token via public, I guess, response entity, and this will be of a string. And how does it go? Does it go string string? I forget how response entities work. It's been really too long since I worked with Java, unfortunately. And this will be delete post at request body will be a post p, and at entity response entity might be scuffed. Nope. Okay, cool. Still got it. All right, at response entity at delete mapping, and we'll just say we could probably do a try catch here, but we need to do some handling, error handling stuff, or exception handling probably on Thursday. This will say post service dot delete post, pass in that post, and then we'll say return new response entity string, and this will say post was deleted, and then we'll say http status dot And let's see. There should be one that's basically updated, is what I found is what people use for this one. So let's see, it's probably at the bottom. Well, it doesn't say, so I guess we're just gonna say, okay, 200. Let's go up to 200. I didn't think it was SC okay, but okay. They grabbed the wrong one. Is it request entity? No, it should be response entity, right? Let me. Do I use these in any other of my controllers? I don't know if I do. That's the problem. I think I. Let me look. What am I doing wrong here? Response entity. Should be right. Response entity, build the response. Takes in the body and the status code. There needs to be HTTP status code. Well, it won't it doesn't take that either. Interesting. HTTP. Yeah, that should be right. Status code. SC stands for status code. It should just be status code OK. So what is the problem? Did it not import the right thing? Did it grab the wrong HTTP status? Why did you grab it from Apache? That's why. Okay, I guess updated. We'll just say okay. I don't know why Eclipse decides that it wants to just grab a random one from somewhere where it's not a random dependency from somewhere it's not supposed to come from. Alright. So now our final one is delete. So let's make sure this works. So we'll log in. That's good to go. Copy this. Go into our post to create one. Created it. All right, so now let's try to delete it. So we'll say make a new request. Do add request / post / is the delete method, and HTTP / post, except we have to have footer on there for the H2 console. That's going to screw me whenever I go to record this. The body is going to be raw JSON, and what I'm going to do is I created this post. I'm just going to grab it. And again, it doesn't really matter all that much because remember, we're going to have access to this entire post on the front end. So it's not like we're going to be copying and pasting this all the time. And hopefully, terrific, because we didn't add the authorization. Bear token, and post was deleted. Let's make sure. So we go ahead and get our post from the author, and it's empty. Cool. So that is all set up. So the controller is good to go, and then we need to kind of work on create post. To do, figure out how to set up multi-part files in JSON. And I think that's it for this. Let's throw this in here. So we also want to set up some error handling. So number 8, set up error handling. I guess let's just say exception handling. And then number 9, figure out the file upload for images. And then we'll keep kicking the video thing down the road over and over again until we absolutely have to do that. So I think that should be good to go for the time being. I think that's going to wrap up this stream. Thank you everyone who stopped by during the stream. If you watched this point after the stream, thanks for sticking around. Even though I was fumbling around, I haven't played with Java in a while. I've been doing a lot of front end lately. So I definitely need to get some more Java in and work with this. So anyway, thank you all for stopping by, and I'll see you all in the next stream.